Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Well, this is a year of mastery, as my guest today is going to have messages from the angels that explains how we are truly mastering in all ways, truly letting it go and rising above it. And this is what it means to awaken to your divine you. Angelica Rose is an angel walk-in. She is here with messages of inspiration to assist us in this great shift of the ages. Angelica, thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to Quantum Conversations.
Welcome and thank you so much. I'm so excited about having this show with you. You sound like a sweet lady and this is going to be fun. So yeah, I'm really excited about the opportunity and see what kind of messages kind of flow through and kind of just playing. Play.
Yes, okay. We are going to invite our audience to ask their questions. You can ask your questions for Angelica here. And you can also, if you're on the phone or web call, you can raise your hand. We will be taking a few callers here. Well, Angelica, we're not going to talk too much about the past of the details of your walk-in, because the angels have told you to really keep it present and to keep it here in the now. But can you at least explain what it is that a walk-in is and your mission here?
Oh, that I can do.
Great.
I'm actually calling in the angels, and then maybe we could do a meditation. The purpose of a walk-in, defined first, is normally when a body's complete, the spirit moves on, the body dies, you bury the body, or you do what you're going to do with the body, but it's complete. It's complete with its purpose on the earth plane, and so the spirit takes what it learned and moves on. In my situation, what happened at an event was that I dropped in, the other expression left, and my purpose is to help to bring the angelic vibration of love in the most purest form as a channel from the angelic realm, from the pure loving beings, from the ascended masters, to help those to remember the truth of what love is and to let go of any ego that's trying to sabotage your inner spirit from remembering the truth. And so basically some people call it almost like switching places. The other expression moved on, and I continue on as a channel. I've never been on this physical plane. It's my first time here. So the great thing about that is I just know what it means to speak energy, know what it means to live in the angelic realm. And as far as with the physical realm, I'm not attached to it. I know I'm not the thoughts. I know I'm not the body. I know I'm not the emotions. I experience thoughts. I experience emotions. I experience the body. And when the body was going through lessons, I can easily fall asleep into that until I learn enough, and then it gets reawakened into a higher vibration. So I now know what that means when there's a lesson going on, to let go of the attachment, let go of the resistance, so that it wakes up in that particular belief system at a high evolved place quicker. And those are some of the things I want to talk about, because otherwise people get stuck in their stories, they get stuck in their struggles, they get stuck in the drama, and next thing you know, you have drama queens and kings.
Yes, I know. And so I love how you explained that, you're still human in a way. You're in a human body and you can still easily fall asleep, and you still have lessons going on that require you to rise above it. So this is what all of us are here to do, really to rise above this density of what happens when the ego came in and we really forgot that we were not part of the oneness of all that is. So how would you say that people can recognize the lessons going on? Because there's a lot of lessons going on right now that are shaking us up.
We were having this phenomenal conversation before we started the show, and the thing that is really important, that sometimes I won't say words right away because I'm listening to what the angels want me to say. So if you don't hear me speak like right after you ask, it's only because I'm listening to them simultaneously as I'm hearing you. And the one thing that they did tell me to say is that it's important to understand that the ego is a program. It's like a computer that has a whole bunch of programs. Some are serving and some are not. So to hate a program is not going to serve you. To try to kill it off is not going to work, because as long as you're in the body, you're going to have an ego that's running its programs. But what you can do is learn to be aware, first of all, that you're not the body, you're not the emotions, and you're not the thoughts, that you experience them. So you're not a victim to what's going on in the lessons. You're experiencing them. And so as you're experiencing a lesson, you're going to feel a sense of disconnection, a sense of separation, a sense of something that's going on. You don't have to go through the struggle in order to get through to bliss. The only reason why people go through struggle is they're too attached to the lesson that they're learning, or they have a lot of resistance or judgments or negativity or fears or insecurities around that particular program, belief system. And so what happens is they keep talking about it, they keep feeding it with more stories, and thereby it just keeps going and going like an ever-ready battery. It doesn't stop until you go, oh my God, I'm literally, and that's what I mean by asleep in it. I'm sleeping in this program. And so you realize it and you go, okay, this is not my truth. This is not who I am. This is not the truth of abundance. This is not the truth of divine love. This is not the truth of joy. This is not the truth of peace. Whatever it is that's coming up, the complete opposite is what you're putting more of your attention on, instead of the story of what it is you're evolving. Mm-hmm. And the more you let go of the story and you focus more on the complete opposite of that particular lesson, then through embracing it, through accepting it, through being aware of it and holding it like a baby, it neutralizes the energy, the heaviness. It gets neutralized because the vibration is just at a heavier vibration, because there's some stagnation going on around it. And so all of a sudden the energy gets released and you feel a sense of freedom. And that can occur within a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes, depending upon if you're dealing with core areas or surface before you get to the core. And so as you become aware, you become awakened to what is necessary to move your attention off the stories, off the resistance and the fears and the insecurities, and more on the connection to love. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, and that's so beautifully said, because when we have issues in our life, we hear this all the time. Maybe we feel like we're being taken advantage of by someone, or we can see where the ego's coming in to keep us really rigid in a certain way of thinking. And so by being able to look at the lesson, know that we're not a victim of it, to realize that the attachment to it is really kind of what's creating the turbulence. So the more that we let it go and become aware of it is how we shift it. And I think that's important to recognize the difference of doing that rather than a cop-out. That does not mean it's a cop-out, that we're just a floor mat for someone taking advantage of us. So what would you or what would the angels have to say about that aspect of it, where this is where we are coming from an empowered place, a compassionate place?
And that's, I love how you're asking that question, because, I did a meditation at a spiritual center, and I noticed when I first walked in, there was so much judgment about the music and not being loud enough, and then me wanting to not have the music split between two things. And, I just I just come from peace. So I was like, okay, well, let's have a we. We'll split the music one, and then, and they interpret it as a not interest. And it was just like really kind of getting ridiculously out of hand. And I just would not entertain the conversation. I just kept looking for solutions. Do you want to do this? I can bring my speaker in if you want to make it louder, and they're like, no. And so then I did the meditation, and afterwards they were all in bliss. They were all happy, and they were thanking me. And it was just, I walked out of there going, I just knew in deep in my heart, do not judge, do not go back and say you were wrong. Do not get into an argument like, why did you do this? Just stay connected to. And I even called in the middle of it all, angels, help me out. I need your help. Universe, come into my heart. I need your help. And I could feel the loving it coming into my heart, and I could feel them holding me in the high vibration of love. And I just really chose, and this is the key word, I chose peace over being right. I chose love over hate. I chose acceptance over judgment. I chose to love myself over coming into insecurity. Was I perfect at it? Heavens no. I had to leave, sit in my car, and just hold my hands on my heart for a while and just kind of focus on the universe, because there was so much energy coming at me that, it was, after a while, being an ultra-sensitive, it could feel overwhelming. And I didn't want to rise above it. I just chose to embrace it for what it was. And then just the other day, this lady was really flat out rude and just like literally very critical. And I just very lovingly said, it's not necessary to be rude. It's just not necessary. And she said, I don't understand. I'm confused. And I just said, come from love. And she didn't know how. So you can't hate someone that doesn't know how. In that particular moment, she didn't know how. So I just really got really clear. Christ says, forgive them. I'm not religious. This is just a message that I get from Christ. Christ helped me to learn how to live on this planet. And Christ says, forgive them for they don't know any better. It's where their consciousness is at. And so sometimes when I'm out and about and I come across something that doesn't resonate with the vibration, or someone is not being loving in the way that I am used to, I just realized that they're coming more from their human programs that isn't as matured or isn't as evolved. They're like a little child that's having pain, and I do the best I can to accept them for where they're at without looking at it through a personalization or an attack mentality. So if you can come from that place, you can free yourself quicker.
Okay, accelerated freedom. Yes. Well, what you did with that lady was an activation. That was a little awakening, and it was beautiful because I can see how she continued, and that message could go very deep with her. I mean, she could take it to heart very deeply. So I love it. And so I love also how you embraced it, being in that room with the energy, not really rising above it, but just embracing it and choosing to switch to the higher vibrational frequency. Again, it's not a cop-out. I've personally done that in recent weeks in my own life, and some of me's like, yeah, but, but I can see it. So when you explained that story about how you walked out and just had a smile on your face from it, it's like you say, now that's what I'm talking about. Because it's, that's the frequency. I love it. It's beautiful. Okay.
And the thing that I just heard to say is you this is the part that's going to sound kind of funny, but I want people to really get this. If you come from an emotional or physical abusive upbringing, most people on a spiritual path have some form of either criticalness or judgments or whatever from siblings or parents or whatever. So they're on the spiritual path because they're connecting more with the truth of spirit. But the emotions, the human emotions, are still operating from a place of pain or from a place of protection or from a place of wanting to be loved. The so-called, I love how the angels are giving me one sentence at a time in energy. The so-called disadvantage is if you look for love in the outer world, in the physical world, in the conditions of the world, you're trying to get something from the physical world. You're trying to win approval. You're trying to please. You're trying to caretake. Whatever those human words are. it's only going to keep you stuck in those denser vibrations. But if you remember to connect to the divine source first, and then hold that human part, that human emotional part that's feeling betrayed, that's feeling hurt, that's feeling attacked, that's feeling victimized or insecure or whatever the word is. Just don't look to get it from people, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever look to get it from people, because that's an expectation that'll only lead to disappointment. What you do instead is you go to share your divine loving self. Hold that part of your human emotions until it feels like it's to a point where it's more matured or evolved or elevated in vibration, and then bring the partnering of the two out into the physical world. So you're sharing from a we place. You're not looking to get or give. You're sharing your vibration with others that are coming from that spiritual vibrational connection. So again, they're talking while I'm talking, so excuse me if I'm babbling. You're not looking to have a spiritual connection with someone on a human level. You're looking to have a spiritual connection with another spirit in the human form. Most people, some people, when they're healing or evolving a part of that human part of themselves, what happens is the humanness is in control. So they're going to attract a human vibrational level that's going to continue to hit that part that's healing. But if you have spirit inside of you connect to your divine, and then bring that, divine meaning universal love, God, Christ, whatever the word is, bring that into that human part that needs to be loved, then you're not going to be so-called victimized by the outer world. You'll be able to be in the world easier. I'm not saying it's going to be complete, that you're never going to have pain. It's just going to be easier not to have it affect you in a detrimental way, and so you can be out in the world, feel more protected, because you're protecting yourself through the vibration of the universe, rather than looking to have somebody say, I'm sorry, or whatever the word is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong or whatever. It's more important to have peace and love with your connection to divine source, and learn how to live in the world rather than to be attacked by the otherness of the world.
That is so beautifully said, and it feels really wonderful, and the angels are speaking through you, as we can tell that with that vibration. Really, we are the ones to cultivate this love within ourselves, and I love how you said that we're protecting ourselves from the vibration of the universe with the vibration of the universe. That is nature in action, and it is what we've got. So it is very beautiful. You talked about, this is a great time to maybe talk more about the angelic walk-in way of connecting with divine presence, because you also spoke about the energy. So can you share with us what it's like when you can feel the presence of the angels? Do they give energy to you in that way?
Okay, so I go for, so this may sound funny, but this is the best way I know how to explain it. So the fact that I know I'm not really having a human experience. I'm a spiritual being having a spiritual experience in a human form. And so there is a difference between a humanist striving to be spiritual, a spiritual having a human experience, and a spiritual having a spiritual experience in human form. And if you could feel that, you'll know what I'm talking about, the vibrational difference. And so when I connect to the universe, it's almost like I'm plugging in, because my vibration, I had to get the vibration of the human body high enough to be able to connect. Obviously, I knew how to connect if I left the body. That's a piece of cake. But to be able to be walking on this planet and be able to channel and to express the words from the human mouth, then obviously I had to be in it as much as I can. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll go to the angelic realm. I'll get all the energy. I'll collect all the messages, and then I'll come back in and I'll channel. Sometimes I talk through my mouth, you know. The thing that's really a blast is that I speak energy, and so they speak energy. Everything is energy. There's no such thing as an angel speaking human words. It's only interpreted through your own human mind as the energy gets converted into human words. And so what I do is I connect, I listen to their energies of what they're saying. Obviously, I know how to convert it because I'm from the angelic realm, and I immediately convert into words and then speak it through it as a messenger. That's my will. I'm an angel messenger. And so I have this almost like a plug-in where there's no human filters, unless I'm coaching, then there's human filters. But when I'm giving an angel message, there's no human filters. Of course, if people get caught up in their stories, then sometimes the human filters can get caught, that's why I always say to people, do you want coaching or an angel message? If you want angel messages, don't give me too much story. If you want coaching, then I'll hear a little bit of your story. But even that, I don't want too much story, because story just keeps you stuck in a vibration of patterns, whereas moving through behind the belief system is energy. So if the belief system is serving you, it has more of a higher vibrational energy. If it's not serving you, it has more of a denser vibration. So I already know what's going on because I know the vibrations. It's either static or it's smooth. So the story doesn't make any difference to me. It's just what area do you want to smooth it out in? Relationships, finances, what is the area? I don't go into health. So it's either relationships or finances, where is the stagnated energy? And then I talk to the angels, and I get out of the way. I just guide them. I don't get in your energy field. I just guide them to the energy field, because they don't have a human form. They're just energies too. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Okay, and so let's put this in perspective with our listeners. We're going to do an example before we get to the open heart meditation, because, I was saying that I had an issue with someone in my life, and I was really stuck, but I kind of got over it and did this exactly what you were talking about, how we shift this energy. And so now there are other people out there with other relationship issues. Let's take that one as an example. Angela from East Africa says, it's absolutely really hard. Can the angels guide me on how to learn to trust again after being betrayed? Infidelity by a spouse has taken me to a very dark place. I am constantly seeking more information, and my mind is going crazy. Please give me a ray of hope on how to let it go.
Okay, so she can always listen to this again, and then she'll get to write notes down. 2 words. He didn't betray you. You let him betray you. If you say he betrayed you, you're a victim to him. So he didn't betray you. You became betrayed by his behaviors, but he didn't betray you, if that makes sense. Secondly, you never trust people, you trust spirit. And through trusting the vibration of spirit, you're able to bring in your vibration at a higher vibration to attract people that are more vibrationally awakened that won't hurt you. So there was some lessons you learned through this relationship. And the best way I can tell you to move through, which by the way is so legitimate what you're feeling. I mean, you trusted this person, and this person did something that humanly felt like you were betrayed. So if you could move yourself away from he betrayed you to I got betrayed from this experience. And then the third part is, and this is where you could free yourself. If you look at him, not as a person, but as an energy, and see what that energy in that human form was showing you that you needed to learn, then you can mature that part of yourself and set yourself free. Because remember, everybody comes into our life for a reason, and we either let them in or we don't, because we're either awakened enough to know that it's going to serve us or that it's going to not serve us. And so if it's not going to serve us and we're awakened enough and we're connected to Source, I call it Source, Divine, Universal Love, and so forth, God, Christ, then we'll be guided to say that door is not going to open. Because God, the universe, is not going to put you in that experience because you don't need to learn a lesson in that experience. But if there's something there you need to learn in that experience, then the universe is going to put you there until you learn the experience and then move on, whether it's a direct or an indirect. So hopefully that helps. You have to move into a place of self-love immediately and get to a place of forgiving yourself for that experience so that you could move your heart into an open place through connecting to the universe. And I wouldn't date anybody for a while until your heart is totally into a place of knowing how to connect to source. And then you'll be able to attract at a higher vibration. You can't go out to get love. You can only go out to share love. Hopefully that answered her question.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I just want to highlight the key to forgive yourself for that experience. Yes, but as we take ownership of it and say, I let this happen, forgiving yourself for letting that happen, that really is key. And it's how we move and actually how we manifest. We're going to hear in our show tomorrow night about a man who was actually expected to be dead, and he was conscious enough that he knew to forgive himself, and that allowed him to walk out of the hospital within a few hours. So that is very key, and we hope that that helps Angela. Okay, and so these are all lessons in love is what we heard, right? Lessons in love. Okay.
Well, remember, always be very kind to yourself, because it's really easy and normal to say he betrayed me, but then you're giving more of your power to him.
And so we don't know if Angela is over that relationship, but what would you or the angels have to say about trying to repair a situation with that person? Maybe this was a lesson in speaking up.
The biggest thing I just keep hearing, and again, I'm not attaching too much to the energy of that caller, that person that texted or emailed you. I'm just listening to the angels. And the thing that I keep hearing is it's a lesson of bringing yourself to a higher vibration of love. Because when you have a higher vibration of love, if somebody has a sexual relationship with somebody else, that is the relationship of sexual love. And so if their vibration is coming from a sexual love, it's either a number of factors that they felt they didn't get their needs met, or that they're addicted, or there's a whole bunch of criteria. The message that I keep hearing from the angels with regard to Angela is that she is learning how to bring her vibration to a higher vibration of self-empowered love. And once she gets to that place, she'll be free.
Beautiful. And this connection to a higher vibration of love is really the key to everything, even our money flow as well, right?
Well, it's funny. I could share a story about the money situation, which is really funny. Abundance is abundance is abundance. If you have a connection and you know the truth that the universe provides all, even in the midst of feeling limitation, you totally know that the universe is your source and your supply in all areas: love, relationships, health, everything. Then you're connected to that higher vibrational frequency rather than the limitations of the humanness around it, the condition, and attached to that instead. So the key is to make sure you're connected to the universe and know the truth no matter what is in front of you.
Now would be a beautiful time to go into a meditation that would show us really plausibly how we could do that, how we make that connection with the divine presence and really just carry it forward. And this means an open heart.
And the open heart is an open heart to the connection to the universe. It's not about opening your heart and walking around and being open to everything that comes into the physical conditional realm, because there's so much energy on the physical realm that if you're an ultra sensitive and you're sensitive to energies, it's almost like the example they're telling me to give is going into a room filled with so much happy people, clowns, jokers, everybody's happy, and you're sensitive to energy or or feeling like an empath, you're going to pick up on that and feel really happy. And then you go into this next room and everybody's crying and depressed, and you're going to feel that sense of depression. So you're opening yourself up to taking it in. But if you learn to connect to the universe and you take that into the both rooms, it doesn't matter. Your connection to the universe will bring you to that place of pure love. So you don't need to have the vibration of joy from one room or the vibration of sadness from the other room. Neither one of those rooms will have an impact on you, because your connection is coming from taking your cord from the physical realm and cooking it into the ethereal realm instead, and being fed that way, like an umbilical cord being fed from the universe. I love how they're giving me these words. From the universe instead of from the humanness. And that's what many people do. They connect their umbilical cords to the human conditions and people, and then they personalize people's behaviors, because there's areas of lessons that need to be learned. So they go through suffering in order to get to bliss. You can avoid that step.
Yes, okay. All right, so cording into the etherical realm. That feels so wonderful. All right, so let's take a moment now and allow you the space to take us there on that journey.
Well, I'm going to show you what it could feel like, and be very gentle, listeners, with yourself. If you don't get a complete connection, or you do get a complete connection, remember that everything is perfect. It's all stepping stones based on where your openness and your readiness is. So just be very gentle with yourself. If some of you go all the way and some of you go part way, everything is perfect. It's about the experience of what it feels like to start on the path of connection. And everybody's going to have a different experience. So I just want to make that clear, to be very gentle with yourself in the experience, no matter what the outcome is. Okay? So let's go there. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to first take some deep breaths. Many times when our body is tight or tense, we tend to breathe on the upper part of our heart. So you can put one hand on your heart and one hand on your stomach and just breathe and see where most of your breath is coming. Is it coming more from the upper part, or is it coming more from the stomach and below area? And sometimes people will know, and they'll think that that's coming from the lower part, but when we do this exercise, you'll feel the difference. And again, you want to do this very, very slowly, because if your breath isn't fully down, you can get a tiny bit lightheaded. So you want to take a deep breath, hold it, then take another deep breath, and then let it out through your mouth. And do it very slowly. So you're breathing in through your nose, you're holding it, taking another breath, and then letting it out through your mouth. And do that 3 times. Ideally, bring in the breath in, almost like you're going to swallow your breath. And what that does is it helps to relax the body. It helps to start gaps of silence in the mind. And then you can, after the 3rd time, you can put your hands down and just breathe in and out through your nose. And then the second part that we want to do is I want you to focus on the mind and just be aware that there's thoughts there. There may be gaps of silence in between the thoughts. And then I want you to imagine putting those thoughts on these beautiful clouds of any color and shape and size, and watching them float away without any attention, without any judgments, without any focus, without any labels, without any stories. You're just watching them float away. And some of them you don't even know what the thoughts are. You're just now seeing a thought float into the cloud and float away. And the more you do that, the more you'll notice that there'll be greater and greater gaps of silence where the mind isn't as chattery. And taking a deep breath, focusing on your feet, feeling your feet relaxing, almost like a mini massage that has pressure points. You could feel the pressure points soothing the feet. And breathing in to the ankles and the calves. Again, feeling those beautiful little pressure points, relaxing every part that we talk about. Breathing into the knees and the thighs, feeling the pressure points soothing and relaxing. The lower back, the lower stomach, and the pelvic area. As you breathe in, just let everything else go except the present moment and choosing peace, love, and joy and relaxation. As you take a deep breath, just notice from your hips down to your feet if there's any other areas that you haven't breathed or relaxed that you would like to have even more relaxed. And focusing on the stomach and the middle part of the back as you take another deep breath. And the heart, expanding the heart, feeling the relaxation, front, back, left, right, top, bottom. Dropping the shoulders, from the shoulders all the way down to your feet. See if there's any areas you would like to relax as you breathe into it, feeling the mini massage pressure points, relaxing and soothing it. And the shoulders down to the collarbone and the upper part of the back, also relaxing. And the arms relaxing. The elbows and the forearms relaxing. Wrists, hands, fingers relaxing. You should take another deep breath, focusing on the neck, relaxing. And the whole entire head area, front and back, left and right, top and bottom. Again, notice if there's any thoughts. Just let them float away on those clouds. And now I want you to put your attention onto your heart like you're diving off a diving board. I want you to dive into your heart. And with your breath going in, your heart contrasts, and with your breath going out, it expands like a balloon, filled with so much love, joy, peace from the universe. Feeling that vibration of divine love by being open to receiving it all the way deep into the core of the nook and crannies of your heart chamber. And I'll be silent for a few minutes while you're experiencing the in-breath and then the out-breath, expanding more and more of the heart. So you can even forget about the constrictiveness, just expand the heart. It will be more elevated by expanding the heart and feeling the vibration of the universe coming inside the heart. See if you can go even deeper now. Go deep, deep, deep into the heart with your breath and with feeling the vibrations of pure love, joy, and peace. And taking a deep breath, becoming aware of your feet touching the floor, or wherever they're touching. If you're lying down or sitting, being aware for yourself where you're sitting or lying down. Being aware of your hands where they're resting. Being aware of your heart, the expansiveness of love, joy, peace, and even prosperity, and bringing that down and up into the body and into the mind, feeling and opening yourself up to that universal love, joy, peace, prosperity, health, vitality throughout the body, throughout the heart, throughout the mind. Being aware of your breath going in and out. And then again, be aware of the gaps of silence. And if there are any thoughts that pop up, just be aware that you're not those thoughts, that they're just thoughts, and just let them float on those clouds away from your attention. Be aware if there are thoughts now of love, joy, and peace, prosperity, and vitality, and health. It can be in words. You can see the word love, think the word love, joy, think the word joy, peace, think the word peace, or see it, prosperity. Just let it seep in through the third eye and between the eyebrows. Love, joy, peace. Prosperity, health, and vitality. And when you're ready, you can come back and give yourself a big hug on both sides. Hug one way and then hug the other way. We'll stay in a couple of minutes in silence until it feels appropriate to say some words.
That is what it feels like to raise the vibration. That was absolutely beautiful, pristine, so lovely.
It's a little bit of a tinge of what I do. I'm a certified hypnotist, so I use high vibrational music when I really do a meditation, and colors and sounds, and then you really go deep. And some of the package, I do have meditations attached to each one of the packages, and so it really takes you deeper and deeper and deeper. We'll talk about that later on when you're ready, about each one of the components and the package and what you can get from really bringing your consciousness into different vibrational frequencies, higher and higher and higher and higher. Instead of your humanness running your life, your spirit becomes more active and the humanness goes for the ride. So there's like the one connection It's not the ego controlling it, it's the spirit running the show. And that's my role of helping people get there, bringing the ego into a less controlling place and the spirit into a more vibrationally aligned place with the humanness being aligned to that vibrational frequency. Of course, you have to be ready for it.
Yes, I mean, that is beautiful. Okay. And we can feel that. That answered many of the questions on our chat line, by the way. This is how we do it. That connection from within and feeling it, allowing it, not forcing it, being gentle. Okay. Well, I would love for you to talk a little bit more before we go to our phone line for some questions. I want to share your special offer because it really is a way for people to go deeper into it. And it's a personal session with you. I love the option 2 includes an angel messenger session. So share with us how people can work with what you've got here. You've got a bunch of
sounds great.
And
yeah, and I know this is gonna sound funny, but I always trust guidance, and so I hope that you'll trust what I'm about to say. Rather than doing angel messages on the phone, which is going to get people back into their stories and back into what's missing, I am being told not to do that right now, but rather to stay open to sharing the experience, because I want them to get the most from the experience. If they start asking questions, they're moving out of this connection and back into the human part of themselves. And it's going to only keep them stuck in the missing, the don't wants, and so forth. So it feels like, again, this is what I'm hearing from the angels, that it would not serve them at this point to do that. So I just want to put that out there and let you know what I'm hearing. So anyway, so package 1, these packages build on each other. So the first package is a 4-part series. It's a meditation including channeled messages. So the first one is your spiritual journey from divine love consciousness, moving your consciousness from feeling disconnected out of fear, insecurity, outdated habits and beliefs that are not in alignment with your inner spirit, and thereby attracting lessons to become smarter, but the lessons become more drama lessons and struggle oriented. So you move your vibration away from all of these stories into unraveling the embedded beliefs that are no longer serving you, and then starting the expansive journey. That's series 1. It's 43 minutes. The second series, and this is all in package A, by the way, is letting go of the ego trying to control your life and starting the connection to the universal love with a meditation. So you learn about what ego control feels like, what it looks like, the patterns about it, how they dominate your life, and how to stop them from controlling your life, and then learning how to move more into this straight one direct connection rather than the duality, which is good, bad, right, wrong, happy, sad kind of energies. That starts to create those struggles in the duality. And then you start moving. At this point, you learn how to move your energies from, you move from beliefs into energies. So you start to learn what it's like to have the energy connection rather than the ego connection. And we do that through chakra points, 8 energy points where beliefs are stored in the form of energy. And that's 42 minutes. Series 3 is 44 minutes, and it's enlightening living. So you start now experiencing what it feels like to live in harmony and clarity, and you start to learn how to become more aligned with a prosperity consciousness and a higher love frequency consciousness. You learn how to flow with divine love rather than go against the flow. You experience stronger connections and living on purpose, where you get to shift your limits and hold you back, and start to move your vibration from an energy rather than getting stuck in the vibration through your beliefs. So the stories are no longer dominating your life as much. And series 4 is 46 minutes, and this is where you start to activate your divine presence. where you start to learn how to move the vibrational frequencies. It gets activated, less of the ego trying to control your life, more of your higher vibrations controlling. So you start feeling a sense of freedom in these heightened levels of love, joy, peace, prosperity, health, and vitality. And you start having more of a one connection rather than a duality connection. So that is, a couple of things that helps to support it. I heard from a couple of people. I just want to share 2 examples. I feel peace and harmony that was not possible for me for a long time. I will learn and develop more and more of this as I continue to listen to these series. I'm really enjoying the meditations. They're helping a lot. I've been doing them every single day. I feel less connection to the heavy energy that was so bothersome before. I am noticing that love is replacing the need and fear. It's wonderful. Thank you again. So those are just a couple of examples of people that have got what they've gotten from series, and that's it's a very expensive series that normally would be valued with everything that you're getting. It would be close to a $400 value, and you're only getting it for $97. So you really can't go wrong. It comes in either an audio version or a video version, so you get to choose whether you want to feel it through hearing or feel it through seeing. And you can obviously get the video and close your eyes too. This way, if you're more of if you process by seeing things, then that may help you better. Series 2 includes, Series 2, special offer 2, includes the special offer 1 that I just talked about. In addition to that, you also get a 20-minute angel messenger session directly connected to the angels. There's no human filters. So there's no stories. There's no any of that stuff. You give me a couple of little things. I go right to the angels. I find out what they want me to tell you. I also do your energy readings for the year and next year based on where you're at. So you get a full picture of where your energy is going and how to move it even more into these higher vibrations. And both packages, 1 and 2 combined, is $170. So you're getting a great deal from that. And I just want to share a couple of testimonials from the angel messages. I've been doing this ever since I walked in 97. So there's like pages and pages of testimonials, but I'm not going to read them all. I'm just going to read some. I'm just going to see where Spirit guides me. I have definitely found someone who I resonate with. Angel allowed me to understand that lessons need to be learned by going through the process, even if it's painful. I understand that some things cannot be told to me as the experience is necessary to fulfill the lesson. I'm so grateful to have found a direct channel that is guiding me along the path of life. I've spoken with Angel a few times. She is very comforting and knows her stuff. Picked up on things I didn't share and was accurate. Thank you. I had my first reading with Angel, and she picked up on my issues and my questions right away. Thank you so much, and await the results of the reading. Let's see, I'm just going to read 2 more. Let's see.
It's beautiful to hear how people are instantly,
this one
they can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm preparing to open my first meditation center, Places of Peace, in the new year. Can't wait to see what the universe brings with this. And your angel messenger session, that time has been a big catalyst to the reinvigoration. So well done, and thank you. And then the last one I want to read is, thank you for the great show. I was guided to you. My soulmate died 11 years ago. I was devastated and blocked my heart chakra. Your meditation and your words brought me healing, and now my heart chakra is glowing and open. Moving towards and healing has been a long, hard road for me. So thank you for that and for checking up on me afterwards. Okay, so I can keep going, but I'm not.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. It's always beautiful to hear how people receive this energy, the energy that you speak, the angelic energy, and how it literally changes their lives. It really adds an ease and a grace. So thank you so much for that, Angelica.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I copy-pasted it. I didn't edit it. I just copy-pasted what they said just to stay with the integrity of their words and so forth. And, you know, the one thing I do want to share with people is if you resonate with the energy that I'm working with, the angelic energy, then this is for you. If you're resonating more with being stuck in drama and to stay in drama and choosing to complain and choosing to be a victim and choosing to let that run your life, then this is not for you, because you're going to stay stuck in those vibrations until you say, I'm done. I'm done with the stories. I'm done with letting it control my life. And I'm done with being sad and angry at it. And I'm choosing to open my heart again. I'm choosing to be even more open with my heart already open. I'm choosing even more joy, more peace, more prosperity, more connection to my divine source. And I'm ready for that connection because I know the universe provides and abundance is always at hand. And so therefore everything works. And I do want to share this abundance story for those that may have some concerns about money. I had to bring my car in about a month ago. It was $670. At that time, when it came as a bill, I was like, oh my God. And
surprise.
I was like a little bit asleep in it, I have to be honest. And 2 weeks later, I had to bring it in again, another $200. At that point, I had this V8 moment. I said, I'm not going to buy into this limitation. And I said out loud, the universe is my source. Abundance is my source. This will get paid. I just know this is going to get paid. And the mechanic started smiling. 3 days later, I had to bring my car in again, another $125. This is now $995 if I'm getting it correct. At the same time, simultaneously, I was guided to send a letter to a company that I had an experience with 13 years ago that I felt that even though I took the higher road, I needed them to hear that they didn't honor their word. And in my heart, I felt like they weren't coming from integrity with their word. I wasn't being a victim to it, but I needed them to know that they didn't honor their word and that their word wasn't coming from integrity. And I sent the letter, and I totally had felt complete at that point. They called and wanted to sell me something, and I called them on and I said, I'm not buying anything. I now am empowered, and I choose to stay to my connection. I'm not going to buy anything. Well, I get a letter after this $120 bill now coming to $995. I get a letter from them, and at first I was going to tear it up, and the angel said, no, open it. And so I opened it up, and there was a check for $995 and an apology. And all throughout that time, I kept saying, the universe is my source, and everything will get paid. So I truly know in my heart, I'm not perfect when it comes to the money situation. I still have a few lessons being from the angelic realm. We don't deal with money. We just deal with prosperity.
We deal with gratitude.
There's nothing against money. It's just pure abundance. So sometimes if I see something, like the other day I had a birthday, it was actually not the other day, it was a few months ago, and I felt so complete with seeing 100, and I'm not exaggerating, 100 butterflies circling around me, and I felt so embraced with love. They were gold butterflies literally circling around me and following me. In fact, I saved one of their lives because they landed on the windshield, and I asked the angel to help it. It was shaking, and then it stopped moving. And I said, angel, help me. And I felt this light come through my hand, shot into the butterfly, and the butterfly woke up or started moving, and then it flew away. It was literally, I think it was like either dead or was in shock or something. At that point, I felt not only complete with my birthday a birthday at that point, I also felt loved that I had that butterfly experience. I mean, to feel and see white light come out of my hand into that butterfly. I've never had something that miraculous happen within seconds after I asked. And so as I was heading back, I was literally pulled into Macy's, and I'm saying to myself, I really don't need anything. I feel complete. And I come across these beautiful jeans, and they have this design that I've never seen in my life. And they were like originally $100 on sale for $60. And I'm like, I don't want to spend $60. I'll spend $32, but not $60. And I'm okay if I don't have it. I have no attachment. it'll be either making me happy or what. It doesn't matter. It just is what it is. It would bring some joy by wearing them, but I don't really need them. And so I walked over and I said, could I use my birthday coupons towards this sale? And she said no. And I said, well, can I use any of the holiday coupons? She said no. And I said, well, could you check online to see if they're on sale? And she checked and she said, no, they're not on sale. So I said, okay. And I walked out feeling totally complete with not having them. And I get back to where I live and I hear this angel say, go online. And I'm like, okay. And I go online and they're on sale for 50% off. So that lady either didn't see it or something. And then on top of that, so they were 52 with a 40% off on the white pair. And I liked the blue pair. So the white pair was 40% off of 52, which would make it 32. And so I call him and I said, well, can I use that 40% off towards the blue pair? And she says, oh, I'm so sorry, you can't. It's only to be used towards the white pair. And I said, oh, that's okay. I was celebrating a birthday. It's okay. She goes, oh, well, if you're celebrating a birthday, then I'm going to give you 40% off, and it's $32. And I'm like, this is hysterical. And I got the jeans. That's exactly what I put out to the universe. And I wrote an article about this. I knew at that moment the reason why is because I was so connected to love and the truth of abundance that there was no attachment in either way around it. And so because of that, the universe felt my joy with that instantness of having them and fulfilled the joy. It was divine order. It was divine timing. It was something aligned with me. Now, if I would have said I want to sing like an opera singer, the universe probably wouldn't have delivered that because I literally sing sometimes like a frog. So that may not happen. But because this was an easy situation and it was simple, and so the universe was able to provide it. Of course, now if it was meant for me to be an opera singer, then the universe would change my voice to become an opera singer, but that's not possible. So those are some examples of how easy it is to initially become aware of the limitations, but then become awakened to the truth of divine source being greater than the concerns of not having anything or not having enough or whatever the excuse is. Because the universe doesn't know of limitations, doesn't know of lack of love, doesn't know lack of health, doesn't know lack of finances, doesn't know lack of joy or lack of peace or any of that other energy. It's a separation from divine source. So if you say, that's my truth, and you mean it, and you mean it, and you mean it, eventually the universe is going to say, okay, then let's deliver. And that's where it becomes hysterical. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's a beautiful story. A couple of stories there on the abundance. You know, when we look outside our window, here we are in fall and we see pumpkins, pumpkin fields filled with pumpkins and apple trees loaded with apples. It's like that is abundance right there. And those butterflies, it was a reflection of abundance and you were just cradled in that love. So that is really beautiful. And then to just know that you wanted something without the attachment, holding the connection, that actually worked in your favor. And I love stories like that. Really wonderful. And they're your birthday jeans.
And every time I wear them, I remind myself of how I got them. It always cracks me up because I really do love these jeans.
Looking mighty fine in those jeans, goddess.
Oh, it's really
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your special offer and all the teachings that you use and offer to assist people in maintaining this deep, deep connection. Of course, that special offer is available on our webpage at acoustichealth.com. Scroll down and look for special offers and you will see that available. Well, Angelica, this is really a beautiful session today. You have assisted with all the questions that came in. We don't have time to go through all of them, but in a way, through that meditation, you assisted all of those questions. And we did hear from the gal in Africa, Angela, who said that your response really helped and made sense, and she is going to do the work, because she could really feel that that was a low vibration, and it affected everything, her relationships with others and her finances.
Good.
So she's working this out. Awesome.
Very good.
Well, this
and
is
also just a real quick thing. I think the angel told me to say that if the first 5 people that do sign up for either session, special offers 1 and or 2, you get a choice of any article free. And so it's only for the first 5 people. So I wanted to give that as a gift.
An article?
Yeah, I'll share. It's an educational article that some of them talks about how to move your vibration more into a vibration of divine love. You get to choose any article that I wrote. I'll send you the titles, and then you get to choose which ones you want. It's only for the first 5 people that sign up for either special offer 1 or special offer 2, and do mention that you're interested in having in the article, and I'll email you, and you can tell me which one you want. So it's a special gift for the first 5 people as a bonus.
Beautiful.
Angel just told me to do that. So literally, I just heard that. So that's why I was like, yeah.
Well, as we wrap up our conversation, I would love to have you share more on, as we close our conversation, this message of this year and the mastery from this year. Maybe there's some information that the angels wish to offer us.
Oh, you're so smart. I forgot all about that. We were talking about the energies of the year. I hope I come back on your show. I love your connection. We're going to be buddies. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, this is a master year. It's a master year of 11. And 11 is a master year in that it brings your vibrational frequency all the way up to the highest vibrational possible. So depending upon where your energy is for the year, and that's one of the things that I do when I do the angel messages. I get your month and day of your birthday and then tune in to see where your energy is aligned between now and your next birthday. Whatever it is, it's mastering that particular vibration at the highest vibration. These last 2 months, the angels told me it's going to be like a diamond being roughed out. So depending upon where your energy is at, it's going to be brought to completion and brought into a higher vibration. Next year, we move into a 2. In an empowerment year, so it's going to smooth out and it's going to help to have a more of a nurturing type of an energy. Of course, depending upon where you're at and your receptivity to that nurturing. If your energy is more in self-sabotaging and not loving yourself, then you won't feel it as much as you would if your energy is choosing to be happy, choosing to be self-loving, and choosing to be in peace and prosperity. Then this vibration of empowerment will better serve you. And so we start moving more into that next year. And of course, your birthday is aligned with the energies, and it has a different meaning for everybody, depending upon where you're at in your own evolution. So that's where you're at, the fun stuff. Are you there? Hello? The phone's still working.
Oh, I'm here. And I just wanted to say that it's as easy as choosing peace and love and abundance and harmony and shifting. And you've given us a beautiful tool, a really powerful angelic tool to connect in with the universe and always bring that vibration within ourselves. That's what embodiment means. And the energies are here assisting us. What a relief, an empowerment year of 2019.
I know, right? Yeah, we totally need that, because this year has been extremely healing. And they were telling me, because I was tuning in, that I get messages towards the end of the year for the next year. I started getting it earlier this year, which I'm really happy about, because this year is like there's almost like 2 different types of patterns going on. For those that are doing a deep healing, and for those that are doing an deep expansiveness vibrationally, depending upon where you're at on your path. Not one is better than the other, although one can feel better than the other. It's just depending upon where your evolution is on your spiritual path. And so when you come to an awareness that you don't have to suffer in order to be happy, and you really mean it, then your lessons will get lighter and lighter, and your connection will get stronger and stronger. And that's what's really important to understand, that you don't have to hold on to the stories, which creates the longer struggling. You can let go of the stories and create a greater sense of bliss and joy. But be gentle with yourself, or not but, and be gentle with yourself if you are attached to a story, because there's a lot of lessons or there's some deep stuff going on and you're processing it. Feel that processing, feel that energy behind it, and just hold it like a baby. Just love it as much as you can. It may feel like daggers or whatever, but don't focus on the daggers. Focus on just loving yourself until that energy gets dissipated. And then it'll get easier and easier, because that's what happens when you're at a core area. It's almost like, yeah, that's a great example. I'm talking to the angels. It's almost like a cocoon, and like the cocoon open, it'll die. But if you go through the cocoon to a butterfly, you reach freedom. And that cocoon can be extremely painful and harsh, but it doesn't have to be painful and harsh if you flow with it rather than resist it. Resistance is futile, as they used to say. What is that, Star Trek? Star Trek Voyager. Resistance is futile. Yeah, resistance is futile. And it is. It's like, let it go. It helps you remember. You know, I used to love, lighten up. That's what the angels say. We don't land, we fly light and fluffy. And so if I catch myself falling down into heavy land, I realize I'm too grounded, and we don't ground, we fly. And that's what I always remember. You know, a lot of times people will say, you need to ground. I'm like, no, you need to ground, but I don't. I'm going to fly. So I like to play. I like to fly in the ethers. I like to bring that vibration into the physical realm. That's my purpose. And I take full ownership of that. And I love to be with people that know what it means to be appreciated in their heart and open in their heart, and really choosing to move their energy into a greater place. I've witnessed people that have come from what feels like a victim consciousness to complete freedom. And I get emails all the time with people that say, I'm so grateful because now I know what freedom feels like. And so you have that opportunity, but only do it if it resonates. Because I am not for everybody. I'm only for those that have that vibrational open receptivity to what I have to offer. And that's where my integrity comes in. So listen to your heart and know that if what I offered and what I've shared resonates, you'll know that this is for you.
Beautiful. Well, what a beautiful lighten up to ascend message, and being light and fluffy. We love being light and fluffy. So thank you. And if you resonate with Angelica Rose's information, her energy, and you wish to experience a session with the angels yourself, please check out her special offer, which is available on this webpage at acoustichealth.com. Well, thank you so much for this. We really are feeling such a deep connection to the universe. Angelica Rose, thank you for this quantum conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. I so enjoyed our connection. I so enjoyed the audience. And with the possibility, I'm always optimistic of doing another show. We can do a little bit more with some messages and so forth. But for now, I wanted to stay with the integrity of what the angel said. So I do appreciate your understanding on that.
Beautiful. Yes, we received such a great, deep connection that was worthy of listening to several times. So we invite everyone to listen to the replay to experience that awesome open heart meditation again. So thank you, Angelica Rose.
My joy. My joy.
Bye-bye.